Well, on Sunday, Rangers meet Hibs at Parkhead in the League Cup final, a match you can see live on a special Cup final sports scene. Rangers, of course, are the holders, while Alex Miller's men are attempting to win the trophy for the second time in as many years. Hazel Irvine previews the big game and talks to the comeback men, who are winners even before the kick-off.
Team glory is a top priority for Rangers and Hibs players alike, but no matter who wins on Sunday, the League Cup final is already a personal triumph for two of the men involved. Hibs keeper Jim Leighton's last and fateful cup final was for Manchester United in 1990. A 3-each draw with Crystal Palace, Leighton was dropped for the replay. The memory isn't pleasant.
There's no point dwelling on things like that. It's well past now, and if I was to sit and think about that, I probably wouldn't play football again, because that's how much it affected my whole family at the time. But my whole family will be there on Sunday, and hopefully we'll all be having a very good time to ourselves and celebrating a cup final this time.
After 3 years in reserve team limbo, the length and breadth of the country, Leighton is back to his commanding and confident best with Hibs. 3 penalty saves against Partick in the quarter-final, and he kept the Easter Road side in the semi against Dundee United. The free transfer to Hibs appears to have been his salvation.
I don't think it was ever a gamble with Jim Leighton. I can read people quite well, and I felt that having spoken to Jim, I felt that there was a burning desire inside him that he wanted to show. I think it was a wee bit mainly like myself, that I was getting written off, and then I got to a final and I won the cup. And I think it proved to a few people that I could manage, I could coach. And I think I saw a wee bit myself in Jim Leighton, that he'd been written off. He wanted a chance, and we gave him the chance, and he's responded magnificently to the chance.
Rangers keeper too has a hunger for success. Ali Maxwell's last cup final, unlike that of Leighton, was glorious, albeit painful. In goal for Motherwell, he defied Dundee United, despite cracked ribs and a damaged spleen. But after those heroics, Maxwell spent a year out of football after a fallout at Fir Park. Now the career door has been reopened at Ibrox, and he's keen to prove himself in the absence of the injured Andy Gorham.
There's no pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. I mean, everyone knows that a fit Andy Gorham will be Scotland's #1 goalkeeper, but obviously, until that time as he's fit, I'm obviously going to do the best for myself and obviously Rangers, and hope that you know, my performances are going to help Rangers into such a position that when Andy comes back, you know, he can sit in his laurels and have an easy time of it.
There'll be another comeback man on Sunday too, and a potentially vital one for Rangers. Ali McCoist, with injury problems since April, says his boss, ready to return to the big time.
People keep asking if we've missed him, and I think if you looked at any side, Ali McCoist scored 49 goals for Rangers last season, and if you take that player out of any team, then you would miss him. It's obviously going to take him a few games to get back. He's still not match fit, although his fitness level is very high at the present moment. He's still not got his match sharpness back, but I'm sure that will come, and he's not scored so far this season, so what better time to start than on Sunday.
Join us for the League Cup final on Sunday. We'll be there. I'll tell you who else will be there. Our competition winners. Remember, we were asking you when the two clubs last met in a cup final. That was the Scottish Cup final of 1979. It went to 2 replays before Rangers finally came out on top. So 1979 was the answer. And our winners: John Hunter from Ayr, who's a Hibs fan, and John Rankin from Coatbridge, who's a Rangers fan, and they'll be there on Sunday afternoon supporting their teams. So will we, and that's at 2:30. Our programme begins. Kick-off time is at 3. The League Cup final live, Hibs against Rangers. Billy McNeil, of course, will be there too. It's an intriguing game, Billy, actually, and quite difficult to tip a winner, I would think.
Well, that's right. Hibs have performed so well in the competition. Indeed, they've performed so well this year, and Rangers are getting the players back, so I'm looking forward to it anyway.
What kind of game do you expect it to be? You see it being an open, thrill-a-minute, 3-2 sort of a cup final, or not?
Well, I think it might be a good game, good open game, because Hibs have scored a lot of goals this season, and a lot of their success is because of the fact they've had good front players, and Darren Jackson's played well for them. But McAllister's done well since he's moved from Falkirk. Rangers getting the players back obviously will improve them as well.
Yeah, and the two goalkeepers that we had from there. Yeah. I mean, that's, I suppose, what football's about, isn't it? These great human stories. I mean, two fellas who are really in the doldrums for such a long time.
Well, that's right. You know, I'm personally delighted to see Jim Leighton back, because he has suffered a lot, and it says a lot of his character that he's back playing at the top level again. Ali Maxwell too, he's suffered, and yeah, it's interesting. It's got all sorts of drama written on it, I think.
That's right. And Ali McCoy, we heard from there, Walter, pretty well confirming that they will be in the Rangers team on Sunday. I wonder, for all that he scored so many goals last season, sometimes he's not appreciated. People think, oh, it's easy scoring goals for Rangers, you get so many chances.
Yeah, it amazes you, Dougie. Walter said it there, you know, how do you miss somebody that scored 49 goals? Not half.
Sure. Yeah.
I think he means an awful lot to Rangers, and his partnership with Hateley last year was very, very important to them. You know, if he's back to his real match sharpness, then he'll be a threat to anyone.
That's right. Would you tip a winner at this stage, or are you going to save that for Sunday afternoon for us?
I'll need to. You know, if I tip, somebody will end up losing, you know. But I don't know. I think it's a very open game, and I think it could be an exciting final.
All right. Injuries, of course, will play a part, because you mentioned Darren Jackson there. He's a doubt for Hibs, isn't he? Stuart McCall's maybe a doubt for Rangers, and they're two important players.
Well, that's right, and it's whether you take a chance with them or not. Obviously, both managers know only too well the real state of fitness, and it's a difficult one, a cup final. Do you take the gamble or not? Yeah, it's worth a lot, and it might well be that a gamble's taken.
OK, well, we shall see on Sunday afternoon.